There's a very interesting shift that is happening in the Indian sports industry, and that's interesting to know it in wake of the Asiad that took place in China just a short while ago. There were 107 medals that the Indian athletes have been able to win, and it's a first in the history of our country. In fact, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself met all the athletes of Asian Games and congratulated them. There has been never before the kind of impetus and push that the Government of India and the Sports Authority of India has given to all our athletes from who are practicing various sports, from archery to javelin throwing to shooting to wrestling, you name it, and there is help and support that is provided by the government. In fact, there have been a number of schemes that have been launched, topmost amongst them being the very popular Khelo India, which is supported and propagated by our Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, and there is also one very important scheme by the name of TOPS. It goes about providing cash support, providing financial aid, providing sports complexes, providing training, providing food and other essentials for the sports persons in our country who come from all walks of life, who come from small villages and towns, to be trained, to be not be concerned about how they are going to have to earn their living, how they will have to earn their livelihood, how their homes will get the food, how their homes be run, because the Government of India is taking care of all of it. For the first time perhaps, the Indian World Cup, the India's ICC World Cup that is taking place in our country seems to have been overshadowed by these stellar performances by our athletes. So is there a method to this madness? Is there a deliberate attempt, conscious attempt that has been made by the Government of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi to give and highlight the achievements of our athletes? And it is not anymore that we live cricket, breathe cricket, eat cricket. The Indian sports industry, Indian sports arena has come of age, and cricket may be the most popular game in our country, but the athletes, the players, the sports persons from all walks, from all sports and all fields are being given a level playing field. On that note, let's start off my discussion. I have with me my guests. I'm going to start off with Shekhar Vijayan. Mr. Vijayan, okay, before I get Shekhar Vijayan, I have with me Deepa Malik. She's the former Paralympian winner. Ms. Malik, it's great to have you. And do you also feel, as a citizen of our country, this very, very palpable shift that is being seen in favor of our athletes who are not cricket players? All right, while we fix that connection with Deepa Malik, Shekhar, the same question to you.
Yeah, I think that shift is happening around us as we talk. See, earlier there were WhatsApp messages, videos of the sixes being hit by cricketers. Now you're getting WhatsApp videos of people smashing it in badminton, in sports. In my own family, my mother's been sending me videos of the players from other sports. Those videos which have gone viral. So I think the celebration is happening around us as we talk, and it's also good that the celebration is happening of other sports. I think for far too long we've been focusing too much only on cricket. I'm not saying the cricket is good or bad. The point is we have to have that kind of celebration for each and every sport. I think that's a true celebration of India, and the fact that this time we noticed that India has won more than 100 medals, and this is the coming of age for India. And the fact that India has won medals in sports which is not even so popular. You're talking about medals in every category, in every sport, speaks a lot about India. And the fact that all these medals have come from people from the hinterlands of India. You're talking about in the small towns, small villages, which just celebrates India in its diversity. So it's very, very important that we realize it. And this is the coming of age. It's not just focus on cricket, not just focus on hockey, but it's focus on all the sports of India.
Yeah.
And now with the Olympics also coming up, I think India should really, we should celebrate the success stories of these individuals, of these people who have bought us medals, because that speaks a lot, and that's an inspiration. It's for far too long the focus has only been on one sport. So why not celebrate the success of these other sports? I think it's also
Absolutely.
important for us to grow as an individual.
You know, like I said, there's a conscious shift that has been focused on by the sports authority of our country. Now, when I spoke about this sports quota, when I talk about this top scheme, you know, what essentially it is that, you know, there is for every athlete who practices all these you know, sports, whether it is weightlifting or wrestling or boxing and so on and so forth, is given 50,000 rupees per month. That's the minimum that a sports, that's an athlete that gets. And this encourages, and not to mention, there are a number of these jobs, government jobs, that are also then put on offer for these athletes who win these medals. And in fact, there was this very, you know, poignant moment when one of our athletes won at Asia, and she said, you know, one of the biggest incentives that I had was that if I win the medal, I'm going to get that government job. I'm going to get that railways job. Now these people come from small places, from villages, and they are, you know, lower class income individuals and households. Now that becomes a huge impetus for them to participate in sports, and this is encouraging, because more and more people, more and more athletes will look into it as a full-time professional career to take forward. Shekhar, the question is for you.
Oh, yeah. So I think your channel has played a very important role here. I got a lot of inputs from your channel in terms of the sports which have been won, the daily update on the medals, especially from India. You know, the 107 medals which we won, 110 medals, and especially the messages from the leadership team also. I think what is really important here is we are celebrating their achievements. We are celebrating every achievement, be it gold, silver, or bronze. I think what is important for us is to understand is that India is celebrating everything and anything right now, especially in sports. And which just shows that there's no particular partiality, there's no particular focus on one sports. And, you know, when it also reflects India as a country, when India as a country is doing so well, and sports is also doing well, I think it augurs well for us as a democracy as a whole. That means we don't just focus on one particular sport, we focus on everything. And that ecosystem which has been created in India, where we're looking at sports not as a passion area, but as something by which you can make money. You can just make sure that you can earn a livelihood out of it, and you can also inspire generations to come. I think that's really important. Earlier, when you would talk about sports as an individual, people would think twice and would not really entertain you. But now I think the focus is changing, the priorities are changing. The government of India is also making a great ecosystem by which they are harvesting, manifesting the talent.
Yeah.
And
also, Shekhar, when the Prime Minister himself comes out, he meets these sports athletes. He congratulates them, felicitates them. That goes. You know, that's a strong statement being made by the government of India. That this is Prime Minister himself who's encouraging these budding sports players, these players who have gone about, getting laurels for the country, making India proud in these international games and tournaments that take place.
Absolutely, and Mr. Modi has been right, left, right, and center about this. He's always been the first one to appreciate and acknowledge and even celebrate the failures of the sports. He's always been there to either lend a helping hand, also to lend a hand when someone has failed. I think that goes to show. So leadership is not just about celebrating achievements; it's also being there when you're at the lowest. So I think Mr. Modi and his cabinet has played a very important role here, and they have allowed the athletes to also feel. They've allowed the athletes to also win in equal measure, which goes without saying. So I think that acknowledgement is there, and the fact that we're talking about this today and we've got such an inspiring, panel along with us with people who really inspire India household speaks for itself. That we're talking about all the sports, not just cricket. We're talking about sports which really makes people smile. So I think that's really important.
Okay, all right. Sunita Godara on the telecast with me. She's a former Olympian as well. Sunita, have Indian sports, which are not cricket and hockey, have a come of age? Do you feel the palpable difference?
Lots of difference, being an Asian gold medalist, when I won the medal, acknowledgement was not there. Only one channel, Aaj Tak, took my profile story. And here now, because of the social media, because of the media positivity, because of a lot of coverage, because of the government of the day support, and the schemes. The things have changed a lot. And the most important thing is Olympic medalist, Olympic champion and the world champions are with us in India. So that has broken the mental block, Mental block has gone now. And earlier in my times, in 90s, the athletes were just trying to qualify for the Olympics, for Commonwealth Games, for Asian Games. And that was the achievement. Qualify kar liya. But now they not only qualify, they go for medal. I have to finish at the podium because they have sports star or the role models to see if Neeraj can do it, if Kunja can do it, if so-and-so can do it, then why not me? I can also do it. So now the role models are given a lot of acknowledgement, lot of coverage, and social media is playing a great role, the media playing great role. And earlier, it was for participation and just running to finish the race. But now it is running to win the race.
Absolutely.
So
Sunita,
there is lot of difference.
Yeah, Sunita, also, you've played in the Olympics, you've participated in it. Have prime ministers of the past then shown so much interest, given so much importance to Olympians and athletes who are not cricketers in the past?
Actually, dear, I won the 92 Asian Marathon Championship gold medal. So when I came, I had to tell my family, please come to the airport, because that time there was no one, garlanding you. It was nothing. And, when I used to win international marathons, like coming back from Australia, Melbourne Marathon, or coming back from Holland Marathon, coming third, and winning Kuala Lumpur Marathon 3 times, Penang International Marathon. When I used to come, I used to go to the newspaper channel, so there was no question. But going to the print media and saying that, look, this is my photograph, this is my certificate, and I won the international marathon. So it was, I am pressurizing them to cover my story. But here, today, see the difference. Even their village people do the celebration in such a big manner. I saw Avinash Sable and, all these athletes who are now medal winners in Asian Games or other games. Most of them, the long distance runners, they are in the marathon also. I'm elite marathon runners coordinator. So I have dealt with them and they are so happy with the facility they are giving. Like you were saying, 50,000 rupees. 50,000 rupees is a good pocket money, They have a job, confirmed job, a government job. So they get their salary, they get training holidays from there. They go to the national camp. All their boarding, lodging is taken care of by the government, and their international exposure. I remember my days when I qualified for the World Championship Marathon. We were going pillar to post. Koi hame America bhej de training ke liye. But these things were not there. Now, the moment you get any international medal, you get international exposure by the government, and the scientific backup was there also that time. But the mindset was different.
Right.
So now the mindset has changed. In my time, going to the psychiatrist, going to the sports science doctor, if you have a problem, then only you go. Going to the nutritionist, if you have a problem, then only you go. Going to the psychologist, if you have a problem, then only you go. But here now, all the top class athletes, they realize that this is the support system they have to use.
Absolutely.
In a regular basis.
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right in telling us what the difference is. I'm going to quickly get in Deepa Malik, also former Paralympian winner. Deepa, situation then and now, we've seen documentaries, we've read these books, and the times when our athletes would not have proper food, proper training institutions, sports complexes, they wouldn't even have proper shoes and equipment to play and fight with these international players, foreign players who were they're like, massive, maybe 5'9", 6 feet tall, and they have all the equipment. They are coming from developed world. They've got the nutritionists, as Sunita said, they have the psychiatrists, physiologists. So, it's a well packaged product that was put out by the countries in the West, in other parts of the world, and in that made our Olympians, that made our athletes a little more timid, and perhaps even psychologically affecting their performance. But the situation has completely turned around now.
Absolutely, I agree, and all the speakers who have been speaking before me, I resonate their views. And to add to what you said, you're only talking about shoes and you're only talking about the outfit. I'm also talking about the world-class wheelchairs, prosthetics.
Yeah.
Because in our field of sport, it depends a lot on your right posture, is this chair that you sit on, how your body is comfortable, and you are in various types of disabilities. You need customized clothing, customized training equipments. When you are in a gym, you need extra support to train, and also the gadgets have to be improvised to suit your disability, your structure, the way you sit, what is the angle of your body, how your injury management is done, because some part of your body is functional, some is not. How are you going to compensate the non-active muscles? What is the kind of physiotherapy you're going to use? What is the way you are going to deal with the spasticity? So a lot comes into play when we are talking about it. It multiplies almost, it doubles the effort for a para athlete. Nutrition needs, diet needs, there's science, biochemistry needs, fitness, conditioning requirements, and definitely psychological environment. Because the moment you see a player sitting on a wheelchair which is of an international standard, or somebody using a prosthetic which has got a better fiber and material use than yours, you automatically feel inferior. But that is not the case now. You know, the Paralympic Tokyo has become a case study for everybody, that how a country who just barely had 4 medals has now 19 medals just within a short span of 40. I mean, that's a huge leap. When you have only 1 female medal, now you have 3 female medals. That's a 300% growth. You have only 3 women going to Rio Paralympics. Now you have 14 women going to Tokyo Paralympics. And same is the case with upcoming Asian Para Games. I'm so proud to log in. When we arrived here for the send-off ceremony tomorrow, leaving. So you see, there's hardly a difference. They have not even left, and the para athletes are already being welcomed for the send-off ceremony. The preparation is already begun. So, and it is so organic. There is no difference. And when an athlete feels welcome, when an athlete feels loved and respected, the mental well-being is bound to have great shape. Because for an athlete in disability is very important, because it's always mind over the body.
Right.
And when Prime Minister is applauding you, supporting you, from yesterday's speech, he says, you play, we will not let the money stop. The budget is not of a constraint. Tell us what you need to perform. And the nation is right behind you. His opening line was, I congratulate you on behalf of 140 crore Indians. So you know, it is not just one person who is congratulating you. The entire nation is taking note of your performance, is saluting your effort, is appreciating your glory that you have brought to the tricolor.
Yeah.
And what is to be really noticed is sense of involvement of the athletes. They have been given national duties like encouraging youth of the country to make them better citizens of India. Stay healthy, stay fit, stay away from drugs. You know,
that kind of a message also. Also, yes. You know, have you also seen a change? You rightly mentioned that the Prime Minister was felicitating the athletes, and it's important to note that, you know, when the godlike stature that we have been given to our cricketers, you know, Gavaskar, and we had Vinod Kambli, we had Sachin Tendulkar, and Dhoni and Ganguly. Is there this very palpable, very visible shift where our athletes like Abhinav Bindra, we take a look at you, we have you know, several of them, Mary Kom, all they have gotten the stature where the Indians recognize them.
Following you open the social media page and see how much following PV Sindhu has. Our Avni Lekara, she's a young little girl. See her fan following on the social media. She's a wheelchair user and she's a shooter. She's Sumit Antil. My God, they call his winning roar as the lion's roar. You know, our Nishad amputee high jumper is called the gazelle, and he was recently invited in Paris for the Paralympic Day to perform and enthrall the audience there from the globe, because it was celebrated in the Eiffel Tower, in front of the Eiffel Tower, and people from all across the globe were there to celebrate the Paralympic Day, and he was made to perform because his style is unique. And that is where we are standing today. And you pick up any initiative initiated by the government, Election Commission, Swachh Bharat campaign, Fit India campaign, International Yoga campaign, you talk about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, you talk about nutrition, Poshan, Ahar, Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Healthy. There is not a single campaign where para athletes or sports persons are not the brand ambassadors. I mean, and I'm talking about sports other than cricket.
Agreed.
And see how exponentially sports of different types have grown in such a short span. Now, that is what is to be seen. The moment focus, the moment support, the moment applaud, appreciation, and then a future incentive. Not a single athlete today is scared of leaving studies and playing because they know their future is secured. Just yesterday, I got a call saying, you are a Padma awardee, your pension is in order, the new policy is passed, please send your bank details. Even winning a Padma award is giving me a pension. My Olympic medalist, Paralympic medal is giving me a pension. There is a government job policy. Sports Authority of India is including them as sports coaches. They are being encouraged to do educational programs to then give back. Athlete-centric development is happening. Athletes are invited to run federations. I mean, I am running a federation. I am heading a federation. PT Usha ji, Gagan Naran, you name, and the athletes are now running the federation. So you know that it is not just one spurt of success. You will be absorbed in the ecosystem for a lifetime.
Absolutely, absolutely. You make all the right points, Deepa, and I congratulate all of you for being part of this growing sports culture in our country and making our country shine, and being proud of you when you go out, when you win medals, when you make India proud, and with the transformation that is happening, and that's because of the efforts that you all have made despite all odds, where the government of India now coming together and acknowledging recognizing your efforts, recognizing the kind of sacrifices you've made, and coming out and now encouraging sports persons, encouraging kids, encouraging youth to take up sports, because India is backing you, because there is no dearth of funds. You rightfully mentioned budgets have been in place. You don't have to worry about your home, how it's going to be run, your livelihoods, because the government takes care of it. And that's how a formidable sports country is then made.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.